Okay, welcome everyone to our session today, do's and don'ts when teaching vocabulary. I planned this session in a way that will help each teacher of English clarify vocabulary the best way possible. I'm not going to explain everything, but I'm just going to discuss the issues that might, conform some kind of pain or a struggle in your brains while teaching vocabulary. So I'm going to start right away. But before I start, I want you to forgive me for not unmuting you today because of the number. So far, we are more than 250. We are approaching 300, I guess, today. So I'm not going to be able to unmute you. It's going to be a little teacher fronted or trainer fronted today. I'm going to display the points and we're going to communicate through the chat box. I prepared around 10 points, 12 points, or let's say 12 issues that bother us while teaching vocabulary. We're not sure if they're right or wrong. Should we do this? Should we do that? How would the students feel if we did this, if we did that, and so on. So please, thank you for sharing this note courses. Thank you. And I'd like to give a shout out to everyone who came on time, everyone who is punctual. Forgive me for not doing that, but I have a surprise for you. As I mentioned before I start recording, the ones who are going to attend until the end of the session will receive certificates within a few days of the session. Okay, so please wait with us. Thank you, Yasmin. Okay, lovely. So the session agenda for today, the first point, I'll give you like 2 minutes to tell us about yourself, and I'll tell you how in a second. Then I'm going to move on to the core of the session today, which is do's and don'ts when teaching vocabulary. Then there will be a quick CELTA preparation orientation. You know that I provide a CELTA preparation course, so there will be a quick orientation about that. Then I'll tell you about my upcoming CELTA course, Cambridge CELTA, not the preparation one. And finally, I'll tell you how to receive your certificate for the session today. Okay, that's the final point, to make sure that you're waiting with me. And I'll make sure that your waiting is worth it. I promise. Okay, tell me about, or tell us about yourself. How? I'm going to send you this link in the chat box. This is a link to a Google Classroom. I want you to join. This is for the super interested in professional development teachers. If you're super interested, I always share information, my free sessions, recordings. So allow me to stop the chat for a while. Okay, so now click on the link I shared in the chat box. Once you go there, you will find this. Let me share it with you. Do you see my screen? So when you click on that link in the chat box, you will find this. Please go to the stream. You know, the stream here on the top of the browser, like just below the address bar. Click on the stream, you will find a post. You can write a comment. Once you join the class, click on the link, you will see join this class, join, write your name, the city you live in and the country and your current position in a comment. This is how we're going to know each other, okay? Lovely, I can see comments being written at the moment. Lovely, 4 comments so far. If I refresh, if you're not able to do that now, no problem. This is just a tool I want you to get used to. Google Classroom, that will help you when teaching online in general. Now I have 23 comments. Well done, teachers. Well done, colleagues. Thank you. If I refresh again, I'll find more. Beautiful. 67 comments. If you're not able to do it now, you can do it after the session. And they might provide a demo or a quick tutorial how to use Google Classroom later. So 104 comments. Well done. Okay. Let's move on to the second item on our agenda today. Do's and don'ts when teaching vocabulary. The first point with us today is it is okay to teach the word eagle before the word bird. Right or right or wrong? Sometimes it's just right, or is there something better than that? Again, the ones who are attending with us will receive certificates within a few days, maximum a week. And I'll tell you how you receive this at the end of the session. I'm going to share something with you that will enable you to receive your certificate. Okay. Oh, let me open the chat box again for you. And you type, you think about this statement. Is it right? Is it okay to do that? If it is okay, just write right, or let's make it shorter. Write okay, or write fine, no problem. Okay or fine in the chat box. Allow me to let you chat. Now I think you can type in the chat box. Okay, I can see many no's or many wrongs or many and some right. Some people are saying fine. So we are a bit divided here. which is absolutely okay. If you are divided, if you think it's okay, no problem. That's the reason behind the session, which is to give rationale of why it's wrong or why it's okay. Well, lovely. Now I've got enough answers. Most of you said no, and some of you said it's fine. To me, and based on the books I read, based on the Delta I did, based on my CELTA, based on being a CELTA tutor, based on researches, like hundreds of researches with teaching vocabulary, this is not okay. Because to clarify the word eagle, the students should have been taught the word bird. So start with the simpler one, not the complicated one. Okay. So again, bird is much simpler than eagle. And when you're going to clarify the word eagle, you will need the word bird. So you will need to clarify bird first in order to help them with eagle. Even if you have a picture of an eagle in your hand, or even if you get a cage with an eagle inside, the students will see it as a bird. Imagine yourself as a Chinese learner, like you are a beginner in Chinese. Do you think your Chinese instructor will give you the word eagle first? You need the word bird first. Do you agree with me? So simpler words and more complicated ones, not the opposite. So it's not really fine. Okay, good. So let's move on to another issue or another point. It's okay to teach all the different meanings of each word in the lesson. Fine or I'll give you 10 seconds. I can see a no with so many O's and so many M's. Okay, lovely. Lovely. Okay, let me give you an example. If you're teaching elementary students, or let's say A1 students, the word minute, in like you're teaching them how to say the time. So hours, minutes, seconds. So these three words, a minute, a second, a minute, an hour. So a minute, of course, you are a great teacher and you know the adjective minute, which is the same spelling. Let me type it here. Minute, the same spelling. So this appeared in a lesson while you're teaching the students words related to time. So because you're a great teacher and your vocabulary range is really, really, really wide, you decided to tell them other meaning of the word and the other pronunciation. So guys, minute, you explained minute, and it's a minute is 60 seconds of time, and 1 hour is 60 minutes, but there is another meaning for the word minute and another pronunciation, which is minute. Minute means tiny, very small. So if you do this to your students, you actually distracted them, you overwhelmed them, you drove them away from the context you are developing. So it came out of nowhere. Less is more. Let me remind you, less is more. Don't overwhelm your students. I remember myself when I was a novice teacher 13 years ago, 2008, in the first session, in the first lesson, I mean, with my students, pre-intermediate students, I used to clarify all tenses in one lesson, 2 hours, thinking that I'm just covering everything for them. I'm making it easy for them, but this is useless. My intention was good. It was to widen their vocabulary range, but actually I was overwhelming them. That is not helpful at all. Okay, so even if you do not agree with me 100%, I'm telling you this from the students' perspective. Not only the students' perspectives, actually the theorists' perspectives, researchers' perspective. So this is like not my own opinion. It's based on my experience, but not only experience, it's also based on reading, studying, and doing diplomas and so on. So do not distract your students, do not drive them away from the context. Even if your intention is to widen and to expand the repertoire of vocabulary. Okay. So is my sound okay? So I'm going to change the router. Give me a second. Is it okay? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So do you agree with me? It's overwhelming to teach the students all the meaning of, I remember a teacher trainer speaking about this, a CELTA tutor as well. She said, if you're teaching them words related to traveling, airport and flight attendant, high level, maybe pre-intermediate or even intermediate, and you taught them the phrasal verb take off, then a student asked you, doesn't it mean also to take off your clothes? You can say yes, but do not spend time here, because again, you will deviate from the context you are developing. You're talking about travel and airports. So sometimes students corner us, spend much time on that. Okay? Saying 100% completely no, sometimes the students' language forces us to deal with it, but quickly. Let's move on to another issue. It is okay to avoid using our jargon entirely when teaching vocabulary. I'm so happy we're having 322 attendees so far. Thank you for your trust, people. 323 and growing. What do I mean by jargon? Our teaching terminology, our technicalities when teaching vocabulary. If you please turn off your cameras because the meeting is being recorded. Okay? Unless you don't mind. If you want to turn on your camera, I'm not banning this. I'm just asking you if you didn't notice, if it is on by mistake, please turn it off. If you want to turn it on, no problem. If you have good internet at home or wherever you are. So jargon like phrasal verb, collocations, jargon like adjectives, adverbs, idiom, these words, this is what we call meta language, the language that the teachers use in the teacher's room. So phrasal verbs, this is jargon. The word itself, I'm not talking about a phrasal verb like take off. I'm not talking about take off. I'm talking about the category itself, the part of it. So when you ask your students, which part of a speech is this? Should we 100% or is it useful? Is it useful sometimes? As long as you start with the meaning, again, as long as you start with clarifying the meaning, you can ask or elicit the form from the students with the simplest question ever. By asking or by saying, Ahmed, can you turn your camera, please? The video for you, but you keep turning it on. So isn't it useful sometimes when you clarify the meaning for the students to ask, is it verb, noun, or adjective? Because this will help them structure the sentence correctly. And I'm not going to ask them a very difficult question like, what do you think word consolidates in a sentence, for example? Don't use difficult language. You can just ask a very simple question without what do you think? Just very simple, very direct question. Is it verb, noun, or adjective? Is it verb, noun? Five. Is it verb, noun, or adjectives? Do we start with clarifying the form? Do we start with clarifying the pronunciation? I want you to imagine me asking you to repeat after me. Mnemonic, anemonic, anemonic, and the plural form is mnemonics. So it's a countable noun. Now I clarified the pronunciation, I clarified the form, and I list out the most important aspect, which is meaning. That is wrong. You start with the meaning because mnemonics to you just a random sound, and you don't care if it is a noun, verb, or adjective as long as you do not know the meaning. So meaning first. As long as you clarify the meaning first, then you drill and help them with the pronunciation. Then you go and write. You're not worried about any fossilization with the spelling, or the spelling doesn't tally with the pronunciation. It is not a big deal because they haven't seen the spelling yet. Clarified pronunciation and drilled. And finally, you wrote. While you're going to write, you can ask them, is it verb, noun, or adjective? If they said noun, well done. If they said adjective, you can, whatever the word is, and you can clarify the form on the board. If there is a stress on the one of the syllables of the word, you can do that. You can highlight that. Okay. So it is not okay to avoid using jargon or our terminology, our technical words. It is not okay to avoid them. We need them, but when? This is the question. When do we need them? When do the students need them? Before the meeting or after the meeting? Okay? And do not use a word like, how can we conjugate this verb? Do not use our deep terminology. Conjugate, will they ever need this word in their lives outside the classroom? Unless some teachers, they will never need this word, conjugate. Of course, unless they're planning to be teachers of English or English language teachers. Okay, so use simplest terms in our jargon. Okay. Yes, conjugation is very important, but ask them, how does it look in the past? Don't tell them, don't ask them, how can we conjugate it? Okay, so past simple. So you listen to them. Instead of asking them to conjugate it, ask them to put it in the past simple. Past simple with your facial feature of a question that will. Don't ask them to put it in a sentence right away. So if I ask you to put mnemonics in a sentence, this is not a good practice exercise. I should have included this in the issue. Ashwaq, please remind me to add the issues towards the end of the session. Put it in a sentence. This is an attack on the students. This is how I see it. So I might attack you in a minute. So Ashwaq, remind me the issue, put it in a sentence, just write it towards the end of the session, okay? Put the word in a sentence. This is an issue. It is not okay. MPFA, meaning form appropriacy. Sometimes with functional language, the A or how appropriate it is should be clarified. Like, can we say hi to our manager? Can we say hi to our, or is it hello? This is the appropriacy. Yes, thank you, Muhammad. But the how she for Muhammad Ala, welcome to my session. Wrote her comment, helped me think of another issue the teachers might fall into, another trap. Okay, let's move on to another issue. It's okay to use pictures to teach all the new words in a vocabulary lesson. Fine, or you can go. Up to you. 10 seconds. Oh my God, we're literally divided 50. From what I see, one no, one one yes, one fine, one no. Some people saying it's good with lower grades. Good, good, good. Some people are saying it depends. Of course, it depends. Okay, let's stop the comments here. Stop the comments. Okay. Honestly speaking, pictures and realia are great with concrete items. When I say concrete items, let's look at this bottle. To provide the students with a definition. That would sound really crazy and completely unacceptable. You can't a container that no, 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 no. A picture will solve it. And better than that, if you can provide a real, that's what we call realia or regalia. Wallet. An empty wallet. Anyway. So yes, a picture or realia, if it is concrete. But what if the word is abstract? Something we can't touch. can't feel, something we can't see, we can't see. Like the word decision. How come you're going to provide them with a picture? Like somebody doing like this? Or two options in front of somebody and he's thinking? That might or might not help the students. Actually, it might confuse them. I remember a teacher wanted to elicit the word hope. Ali Ashur, thank you for attending. I was worried when I didn't see your name. Thank you so much. So she wanted to elicit the word hope from the students. أمل. عايزة تطلع منهم كلمة أمل. She provided a picture of a prisoner out of his cell bars. Can you imagine that? So she displayed the picture on the screen, asking the students, okay, what can you see? He said, prison, a thief, hope. He was looking outside, thinking of like freedom. Somebody said freedom. So that it wasn't the word itself, it was to elicit the context. The context of the lesson was about hope. Anyway, do not use pictures to elicit abstract items. So if you want to explain the word health, can we touch health? Can we see health? Please don't display a picture or present a picture of a hospital, because you might hear the word, you might hear the word sick, you might hear the word ill, you confuse them. So if it is abstract item, do not provide them with a picture. There are other 8 ways to clarify the word or to elicit the word. In my vocabulary input session in the CELTA preparation course and in session in the Cambridge CELTA course, I clarified 8 ways of eliciting vocabulary. One of them is Elia, and we have 7 or 8 other ways to elicit. It is not only pictures. Don't overuse pictures. Somebody was clarifying the word thrill using a picture of somebody who is excited. So he got excited, but scared because it was like that. He got frightened. He never got thrilled. Sometimes it is not the best. It might confuse the students. Do you agree with me? Yes, miming, synonyms, antonyms, examples, we call it exemplification. We have definition, we can provide the students with the definition and they provide us with the word. So have different ways. Again, synonym, of course, an easier synonym. Works with synonyms or antonyms, a context or a situation, a quick anecdote, a quick story, a definition. Of course, pictures if it is a concrete item. What else? Owing, realia, if it is also Klein, if we have degrees. Thank you, Ayat. Might help, but the sentence should be, because they will need to guess the meaning from the sentence, and one sentence might be. Let's move on to one more. Need to ask your students, what does a word mean? معلش اسمحوا لي بس اقرب من الكاميرا واقول لكم اوعوا تعملوا كده. Please. بما فيهم أنا مولودين بالديفايس ده. We were born with this device. What does this word mean? Built in us. This is a very wrong, this is a big no-no. Big no-no. Do not do that. Because even if you ask a native speaker, what does mnemonics mean? They might not be able to provide you with a definition right on the spot. Asking a student what does a word mean is an attack. How would you feel, Duha Muhammad, when I ask you? You will completely get disconnected. Again, in a real struggle, don't provide them with something small, like a word, and wait to come out of them. Even if you do this to a native speaker, they will hesitate. They will keep thinking about the best version of the definition to provide you with an accurate meaning. Do not do this to you. This makes them disconnect and makes them feel bad. It is not an elicitation question. You might think I'm doing this to communicate with the students. This is the wrong way of communication. You provide them with a synonym or with an example or with a definition and wait for the word to come up from them. You provide them with the clue, not the word, and wait for the definition. Of course, if it is a picture, if something can be clarified with a picture, don't ask them, what does an apple look like? Just, you can't ask them, what does an apple mean? You can't do that. You just provide them with a picture and ask, what's this? Done. With a word in English, now they know what that is. They might not be able to say it's an apple if they are complete beginners, like level 0, level, might not say it's an apple. They might not say that, but at least the concept is there. So you relate, know, not what they don't know. When you ask them, what does mnemonics mean? You actually made them realize that they don't know. When you tell them, okay, elephants can drink water, or elicit, concept, check, drill, then write. So mnemonic is a sentence or a phrase or a set of to help you remember something. Big difference. We have two teachers. The first teacher asked the students, what does mnemonics mean? Something that he is eliciting from the students. You are actually hurting their So the second teacher said, elephants can drink water is a mnemonic for elicit, concept, check, drill, and write. Mnemonics are sentences or phrases or a set of letters to help you remember something bigger. Big difference. So will you ask your students, what does mnemonics mean, or any word? Please write nose with many O's. The connect it from my side. Is my sound clear? So again, you provide them with an example. You provide them with a synonym. Whatever the clue was, you provide them with the clue and wait for them to give you the word. Even if they didn't give you the word, it's okay. Maybe it's completely new. Lagging? Is it better now? I hope it's okay now. So before that, or was it also cracking? I will clarify the last point again. Okay, so it is not okay to ask because that will disconnect them. That will make them feel that they, but if you relate to what they know, like any other example, elephants can't drink water. This is the example in my mind because I always train teachers. So elephants can't drink water is a mnemonic for illicit concept check, finally right. So I gave them a clue, I gave them an example, then I might provide them with the definition. So it's a sentence, it's a poem, it's a phrase that helps the others remember things. Okay. Thank you, Basant. This is the best mnemonic today. Careful, recorded. I'm not going to warn you again. Do not turn on your cameras if you don't want to. So keep instructions short and simple. Keep instructions short. This is a mnemonic. So you give them the clue and they give you the word. If they didn't give you the word, that means they don't have it. So don't torture them. Okay, let's move on to another one. It's okay to ask your students, do you understand? What do you think? 10 seconds. I love this question. Somebody asked me, why not? I will say, why not? You can stop typing now. Thank you. Ali, please nod your head if my sound is clear. Thank you. Why not? Because the automatic response to this question is yes. Did you understand? Yes. Especially in the Middle East, students are so shy, and this question is actually investigating their, they feel like you are checking their level of IQ by this question, not understanding. If you ask them, did you understand, or do you understand, or did you get it? And they say no, they might worry about their classmates. If they said no, if they said the truth, they might stupid in front of their peers. So the automatic response in the Middle East is, yes, I understand. Yes. You get a fake answer for this question. Like, this is like, honestly speaking, way to check understanding. I hope I'm not, hurting. You do this, I did this, we did this, our lives. I was doing this before I did my CELTA as a trainee, not as a not as a tutor. So I am guilty. I'm not saying this that everybody knows it or everybody doesn't still do it. Some of us did CELTA or TEFL or CELTA preparation or TESOL, and they know that this question is not that, or does not get real answers. It never gets real, especially in the Middle East. Brazilians, they're different. Both nationalities are famous for saying, no, we didn't. That's why they learn languages, especially Brazilians, people from Brazil. They learn languages faster than us. So how do we check understanding? But there is a complete session on how to check understanding. So I just need to move on and tell you about the issues. Otherwise, I won't be able to finish the issues. Okay, to teach as many words as possible in one lesson. What do you think? Okay, let's stop the comments here. Honestly speaking, there is no right number, but at least if you have a 1 hour lesson, do not exceed 8, 10, 1 hour and a half or 2 hours, 12, 14. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So please overwhelm your students. It is not a race. 10 words in one lesson and they leave your class able to use them correctly. You have done a great job. But if you 5 words, you give them a word list, if you memorize, is not helping them. Can you imagine that? I'm just reminding you because some people left, like 5 people left or 10 people left. If you wait with me until the end, you will know. I hope I'm not boring you to death. I just collected so many points that might, help you teach vocabulary more effectively. So I want to cover as many as possible. I still have 2 or 3 more. Anyway, it is not about the quantity, it's about the quality. Help your students use these words effectively by making a good sequence of the lesson. Again, if you clarify meaning, pronunciation, and form, and give them a controlled practice task, then a freer practice task where they can use the words they learned more freely, and you give them error correction on meaning and use on pronunciation and form, you are consolidating the learning. It's better than giving them lots of words without any practice, words without anything retained. We learned lots of words when we were in secondary schools. Do we actually remember everything? Did the teachers help us pronounce them well? Did the teachers make sure we understood? And we need to change the culture in this community because some parents بيقيسوا مدى كفاءة المدرس بعدد الكلمات اللي بيرزعهم للطالب في الكلاس. انا اسف، حرام، حرام. هنعمل ايه؟ دي الثقافه العامه، بس لو كلنا اتكلمنا فيها كده بالراحه ايه لا happen overnight. So we need to teach them or to educate the parents very gently that the use is better than the quantity. لان ابنك لو هيشتغل مرشد سياحي مش هيطلع يعد الكلام، وهيستخدمها في جمل وفي محادثات. مش هيقدر يعمل محادثه، هو عارف كلمات كتير مش عارف يستخدمها، مش عارف We need to change this culture. I actually feel for the teachers who need to finish a specific part of the book in a certain time. I feel for you. You can speak with the manager, of course, gently, don't lose your job. But there are some problems we can't solve. So maybe the responsible people in the government need to, lessen the number of words in each lesson. They need to change it a bit in order to be relevant to what the students need. What the officials needs, not the teachers need. And our needs as teachers. We need to relate that to the students, not to us, not to their parents. What do these students looking forward to getting, or are they looking forward to speaking English and writing in English effectively? The smart teachers who achieve. والهدف هنا معظم الاهالي ومعظم الطلبه عايزين يجيبوا درجه في الامتحان، فانا ما اقدرش الوم التيتشر، ما اقدرش الومك، ما اقدرش الومك، وبعتذر لك. اسف، انا بقول لك مع ان ده ضد قناعاتي، بقول لك كمل على كده otherwise تاكل عيش. هدف الطالب يجيب درجه، وهدف الوالد والوالده بتاعت الطالب انه يجيب درجه، مع ان ده غلط بس دي ثقافه عامه. فلو انت عمت ضد التيار يبقى انت كده هدف الراجل اللي جاي لك او الطالب اللي جاي لك او الطالبه اللي جايه لك، لا هتحقق هدفه الوالد والوالده بتوعه. فمشكلتك عارف ايه الهدف بتاع الكلاينت بتاعك، والكلاينت بتاعك هنا طالب ثانويه عامه، ده الكاستمر بتاعك. ما ينفعش تروح انت تحقق هدف. اسف يا شيماء، فين الكاميرا؟ لو انت مش راضي عن اللي انت بتعمله ابدا بقى طور نفسك وخد كورسات طرق تدريس حديثه، كوميونيكاتيف ابروتش. دي كورسات اللي هي في مراكز تدريب اللغات. طب هتقولي ده ما بيعملش فلوس قد الدروس. انت قرر حياتك بنفسك بقى، قرر حياتك. حقق ال- العميل ده عايز ميه دساني، ما ينفعش بنفس ثمن ده، انت كرمته، ده انت اديته 600 مللي اديته ايفيان ب 3 جنيه. طب ما ده سعر الدساني اللي هي عاديه مش جايه من جبال القلب. انا بدي لك ايفيان بسعر الدساني. انا مش عايز ايفيان، انا عايز دساني. ايفيان بتعمل لي مغص، فما ينفعش تحقق هدف غير الهدف بتاع الستودنت بتاعك. لو انت ده بيتعارض مع قناعاتك للمره الثانيه حاول انت تغير مش هقول لك غير الكارير، طور الكارير بتاعك ودرس بقى كورسات. انا اسف، انا مش لاحق الصوت تاني. علي انت سامعني كويس؟ بيقطع عندك ولا في لاج؟ لا مش هتعرف تتكلم لو في لاج. طب انقل على الراوتر التاني، انا عمال انقل ما بين الراوترين بصراحه. I hope this is okay. So do not teach as many words as possible. Teach what the students can leave your class able to use effectively. So 8 to 15 words. 8 to 15 words. So if it is clear, Ali, nod your head. If it is so, do this. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I have two routers and I'm trying. So the last, no, not the last, I guess I still have 2 or 3. So we must use concept checking questions, CCQs, with all the new vocabulary in a lesson. Actually, no. Because if you have a wallet, what's this? The students in your class said a wallet. Done. Done. Do we put money in it? Do we put ID cards and credit cards in it? Actually, it is not a big deal. It's not a problem, but the students got the meaning. And the wallet actually has one valid CCQ, which is who uses a wallet, a man or a woman? Because women use purses. So that's a valid CCQ. But imagine if you are clarifying the word bottle and you ask the students, do we put water in it? Do we put salt in it? هيحسوا ان انت يعني this is very patronizing. هيقول لك بنحط كحول فيها. عادي المصريين بيحطوا، يعني ياما ناس شربت كلور بسبب الموضوع. ف anyway if it is really concrete and they can see it. And I remember one funny situation during my CELTA course as a candidate like 6 years ago. A teacher was clarifying the word chair to starters, like very beginners, and said, what's this? Some students said, chair. So they knew it. And he started asking questions like, do we sit on it? Or the tutor was sitting beside me writing the feedback report. She said, she whispered, or eat it. بالظبط يا جهاد. دي حاجة كده عاملة زي العلبة دي فيها ايه؟ طب هو خلاص الكرسي، هو شايف الكرسي اقسم بالله. ما تسألش بقى CCQs هنا. Some teachers get fascinated with the idea of asking CCQs and ICQs, instruction checking questions, and CCQs, concept checking questions, and they overuse it in a way that makes the students feel patronized. So if it is a concrete item, it doesn't need CCQs because they can see it, they can touch it. Let's move on to another one. Actually, this is not only for vocabulary. Let's assume that the teacher or the institute asked the teachers to write the aims on the board in the beginning or whatever, on the screen, on a PowerPoint slide. Listen to this aim. To provide clarification of meaning, pronunciation, and form of a lexical set related to personality adjectives in the context of colors and personalities. Do we write this on the board? Yes or no? So again, we are divided here. Some people say sure. Some people say yes with so many S's. Some people say dead sure. And I'll tell you, there is no right or wrong here. There is no right or wrong here. It's okay to write the aim, but let me tell you why I lean towards the opinion where we don't do that. So that is very academic, and it disengage the students immediately. When they see this, they will feel disengaged, and it will raise your TTT. It will sound like a mini lecture, and in the communicative approach and in the modern methodologies, we do not use lectures. We do not lecture the students. It will sound very dry to the students' ears, very dry. But maybe your supervisor will like it, but we need to speak with the supervisors about that. I'll give you another example. Instead of writing the aim on the board, I'll start differently, in a different way. Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to tell you about my friend Ahmed. He's my best friend. And I like him very much because he's kind and he's generous. He's also determined. He wants to achieve all his goals. He's friendly. What about you? Can you tell your partner about your best friend and why do you like his or her character? And what can we change and why? So everybody with your partner, are you talking about the best qualities in your best friend or something you want to change as well? I listen to their answer. Yes, some qualities you want to change in them. Okay, every two together. Now, I am relating the topic to their lives. I am creating a need for the target language because the target language has stingy or tight-fisted, it has extravagant, it has determined, it has meticulous, it has fussy. So some personality adjectives. So I created a need because they might not be able to express everything. So I created a need for the target language. And towards the end of the lesson, I will write the aim briefly as a checklist. Like if I had reading, listening, vocabulary, I will write this item as a checklist, vocabulary. What did we learn? What new words did we learn today? And I start eliciting from the students the new words as kind of recap. The last stage of the lesson, after the freer practice, after the feedback, after everything, after the error correction, I wrap it up. Excellent, Basma. I wrap it up with them. So I didn't write the aim in the beginning. I just wrote one word, which is vocabulary, on the board, and I used it as a wrap-up or a recap on the lesson. But if you write the word vocabulary in the beginning, it's okay, but it's okay. Listen to your supervisor, listen to your coordinator, please do not challenge them. أكل العيش مر. مش لازم تعرفوا ان انت خدت سلطه والله ده التيوتر قال لي كذا. ممكن تيوتر تاني عنده وجهه نظر مختلفه. انا ما بفرضش على حد وجهه نظري، انا بقول لك من واقع تجربتي مع الطلبه ومن واقع خبرتي معاهم. لو كتبت لهم grammar present perfect على البورد حتى بشكل مختصر I put them off. I completely disengaged them بالذات لو ما بيحبوش الجرامر. طيب لو كتبت read أو listening وهم شايفين ال listening صعب, by the end of the lesson students will be able to listen for just and specific information. ايه ده؟ كتير تقيل قوي عليهم كده. اولا هو مش لازمه الاكاديميك wording of your aim على البورد, هياخد حته كبيره من البورد. مش هيبقى فاهم الكلمات, فيها جارجون كتير, هو مش لازم يعرف كلمه جست, مش هيستخدمها بره, هو لازمه يعرف يطبقها, مش يعرف الكلمه نفسها. ولو قلتها محتاج تشرحها وممكن تضيع وقت من الكلاس بتاعك عشان تشرحها. anyway انا ما بقولش لا لكتابه الاهداف, اكتبها بشكل مختصر, ممكن تكتبها في البدايه ما فيش مشكله. It sometimes kills the mystery and we need to provide them with a little mystery and underline the word little, because sometimes some teachers overwhelm the students with the mystery and ask the students to read their minds. Today our lesson is about, مش هيقرا دماغك انت, مش هيقرا اللي موجود جوه مخك. انما لما تقول له ماي فريند واحسن صفات فيه وانا بحبه عشان كذا واحنا بنخرج سوا وهو صفاته كذا كذا ومحتاج يغير كذا. What about you؟ انت عملت personalization عليك في دقيقه, هيعمل هو personalization على نفسه هو وزميله في دقيقتين ثلاثه. بعد كده هتسمع content feedback منهم وخلقت احتياج للدرس. task very authentic, very personalized, very engaging. وفي الاخر الايم يتكتب عشان تعرفه هو, تفكره هو اتعلم ايه. اوكي. انا بحاول اجل كتابه الاهداف للاخر. لو المؤسسه اللي انت شغال فيها بتقول لك اكتبها في الاول, اسمع الكلام, بس بلاش تبقى كبيره وبلاش تبقى بشكل اكاديميك, لان الطالب مش لازمه الشكل الاكاديمي ليها, وشكله لازمه يعرف هناخد ايه النهارده. ولو عملتها بشكل you pull their legs without writing the aims and use the aims as a checklist at the end, to me this is way better. So in a reading or a listening lesson, we shouldn't teach all the difficult words in the text. We shouldn't teach all of them. And the word text here means reading or listening, a spoken text or a written text. So we can use the word text with listening, no problem. Yes, thank you, Mona. الغنام. Excellent. Teach them the crucial words. What Mona means by crucial, the words that are relevant to the tasks. If I have 17 or 20 difficult words in the text and I clarify them all, I consumed the time of training them on reading. So I will clarify only the words relevant to the tasks. I will try to answer the tasks myself. Then I decide on some words related to these questions in order to help them focus on the reading sub-skills, not the words. I'm not gonna deviate or distract or break their attention searching for the meanings of words. I will just clarify this before they start reading. Then I provide them with clear instructions. I set the task effectively and I show them how to find the answers. This is called metacognition. And when they start answering, I monitor from a distance in order not to interrupt the activity. So I have like 5 questions. Each question needs a word to be clarified. So do not clarify more than that. 5 to 7 words. If you need to clarify more than that, I want you to redesign the reading or the listening tasks to require less words. Otherwise, they will be distracted. If your main aim is reading or listening, do not distract them with so many words. So if the students, Nagwa asked a very good question. If the students are learning the meaning of these words to answer question, so they need the receptive use of these words. So they do not need to write them because they are already written in the text. They do not need to, pronounce them because they are using them receptively. So you can just clarify the meaning. You don't have to write, you don't have to clarify the pronunciation. But if you think that they will need them in the post-reading activity, they will need to speak using them, please clarify the form and pronunciation as well. So it depends. Ishraq question or Ishraq's comment about asking the students to provide us with a sentence while clarifying is a big no. Is a big no. Because again, if I teach you a word like shenanigans, I love this word very much. And they use it on my course, like my CELTA preparation course. I clarify how to create CCQs using these words. And I'm happy to hear that some of you use my session to train other teachers in the schools. As long as it's for free, I allow you to use it to train your classmates. Don't sell my materials. أنا قعدت وسهرت وكونت الكورس ده في سنة. كورس سيلتا بريباريشن بتاعي تم التحضير ليه في سنة. فلو انت هتاخد الماتيريال، لو انت خدت الكورس معايا وحد طلب منك الماتيريال او انت نفسك هتستخدم الماتيريال for commercial reasons، يعني حقيقي انا مش راضي عن ده، ودي هتبقى سرقة أدبية. انما لو انت بتستخدمها عشان تدرب زمايلك في المدرسة for free مفيش مشكلة، لان دي حاجة انا تعبت فيها. وانا بقول لك حرام تاخد تعبي وتبيعه. لو حد طلب منك ده، لان ناس كتير بتبعت لي تقول لي انا اتطلب مني الماتيريال اديها ولا لا، ما تديهاش، لان ده اكل عيشي. احنا عايشين في زمن كل حاجه فيه بتغلى. انا وريتكم الوالد بتاعتي اهي. احنا النهارده كام في الشهر؟ 10. مفيش فيها غير 300 جنيه لاخر الشهر. بس طبعا الكريدت كارد لسه فيه شويه. ف please do not destroy my business by selling my content بتاعي ده كوبي رايتس تعبان عليه. فطبعا بيوصلني ان الناس بتستخدم كلمه شينانيجنز في التدريبات بتاعتها. انا اصلا بعملها في كورس السيلتا وفي كورس سيلتا بريباريشن. تمام؟ فمفيش مشكله ان انت تساعد زمايلك، بس ما تطلعش بقى الكونتنت على الفيسبوك او تبيعه للناس او تعمل بيه كورس تفل. بليز مفيش والله غير دي يا علي. والله وعندي بالها 3 سنين. انا اصلا عايز اجيب محفظه. Anyway, don't ask your students to give you a sentence. Okay, I'll give you an example. I'll challenge you to put this in a sentence. Can you put shenanigans in a sentence? What does shenanigans mean? احنا بنعمل كده في الطلبه. فاكرين قلت لكم ما تسالوش السؤال ده، ما تسالش الطالب الكلمه معناها ايه. ده مش صح. مش صح. But you can give them a definition. Shenanigans or a synonym. Shenanigans are like pranks or tricks we play on our friends. Like one day I hid my friend's Shadi Abu Yusuf's car. My friend Shadi Abu Yusuf's car in an underground garage. I made him pay back for the shenanigans he played on me. I did this to him. And I told him you wouldn't put up with my shenanigans. Do you think this is interesting or boring? Like shenanigans on others. Is it interesting or boring? It made me laugh. It made my friends laugh, except Shadi. He was crazy. He thought that his car was stolen. So everybody laughed. Is it interesting or boring? Was it completely honest? مش بسأل acceptable ولا inacceptable ولا unacceptable. أنا بسأل بتضحك ولا لأ؟ بس ضحكني أنا. Yes, Ramiz Jalal does it all the time. He's full of shenanigans. دلوقتي أنا سألت سؤال is it interesting or boring؟ الناس اللي قالوا boring لسه ما يفهموش المعنى، فأنا هقول لهم interesting only to me. Was it completely honest? No. اللي قالوا no. Dishonest? Yes, it's somehow dishonest. And don't do this to people. Did I do it secretly or openly? دول 3 CCQs to make sure that you understood the meaning. انا دلوقتي مش بتكلم على الهدف الاخلاقي من الكلمه، انا بتكلم على المعنى. محدش يقول لي this is bad. I know it's bad. بس الراجل كان بياخد الشوز بتاعي يخبيها ويلبسها ويسافر بيها، فكان لازم ادفعه ثمن الحاجات دي. I know it's bad. فلازم كنت اعمل الشنانجان دي فيه. فانا مش بتكلم على الاخلاق دلوقتي، انا بتكلم على المعنى. Again, was it completely honest? Was it interesting or boring to me? Did I do it secretly or openly? ينفع اقول لك حطها لي في جمله دلوقتي؟ Put it in a sentence. حاسس بايه كطالب؟ How do you feel now? Do you know that the dictionary writers take time to find the suitable definition and the suitable sentences to make it easy? They might think of a definition for 2 or 3 hours. They might think of a sentence for 1 hour or 2 as well. So it's very challenging. Don't ask your students. Once you clarify the meaning, it doesn't happen automatically that the students are able to use it in a sentence. Please don't do this. Okay. أنا دلوقتي عملت إيه؟ عملت clarification، استخدمت example، استخدمت رامز جلال، استخدمت شادي عشان أوضحها. بعد ما عملت ده سألتكم CCQs عشان أتأكد إن أنتوا فهمتوا المعنى، ما سألتش do you understand؟ استخدمت CCQs على الكي ووردز أو الكي مينينجز اللي جوه الكلمة. بعد كده هعمل إيه؟ هدربك على نطقها. Repeat after me. Shenanigans. Listen carefully. Don't say anything. Just listen. Shenanigans. Shenanigans. Repeat after me. Shenanigans. Shenanigans. Excellent. طب ليه انا ما كتبتهاش الاول؟ ليه عملت elicitation بعد كده concept checking بعد كده drilling بعد كده هكتبها؟ هقول لك. هقول لك انا عملت كده. اديني ثانيه واحده. If you're teaching elementary students the word knife and you write it first، طبعا التيتشر كان بيخش، التيتشرز بتوعنا ربنا يبارك في صحتهم بيدخلوا بيكتبوا اول حاجه بيعملوها كانوا بيكتبوا على البورد. فده بيشكل، ده اللي خلى بعض الطلبه لحد الان بيقول لك I don't know. سماح اقفلي الكاميرا. I don't know. ليه؟ لان هو شاف كلمه no مكتوبه الاول فقرا الكي فحصل فوسيلايزيشن. فارجوك elicit, concept check, drill, then write. Meaning, pronunciation, then finally form. Okay? عشان بيحصل fossilization. لأن sometimes the spelling doesn't tally with the pronunciation. So, excellent. So let's go back to our agenda. I have finished the do's and don'ts part. If you wait until the end, you will know how to receive the certificates for today's session. Again, elicit, try to get the word from the students by giving them a clue, maybe an example, maybe a definition, maybe a synonym, whatever we agreed on, whatever can work with this word. Number 2, you check understanding using CCQs, and there is a session on my CELTA course, like Cambridge CELTA, which is £28,000 or 29. And there is also a session on teaching vocabulary on my CELTA preparation course, 3-hour session. how to teach vocabulary and how to compose, how to write, how to word your CCQs. So elicit, concept check, drill, and finally write. Elephants can drink water. ECDW. MPF. Elicit, concept check. This is meaning. P, this is drilling and highlighting on the board. Then the form, you highlight the spelling. Elephants can drink water. So now I finished the second point of my agenda. The rest will take no time. The rest of the session will take like 10 minutes. We still have 10 minutes together, maximum. We have a quick presentation or orientation on my CELTA preparation course. And I'll tell you quickly about my upcoming CELTA course. So CELTA preparation is the cheap version of a methodology course. I summarized the CELTA in like a very concise course to help you become a better teacher with way less money. The CELTA itself, which is Cambridge certificate, I'm doing a course very soon. I'll tell you all the details and I'll tell you how to receive your certificate for this session. So what about my CELTA preparation course? There are 18 reasons why you need to do my CELTA preparation course, or why my CELTA preparation course is the best. I am the one who created that course, the first one to create this course, because I needed it when I was a CELTA trainee. And after I became a CELTA tutor, I designed the course to help the ones who are going to pay thousands of pounds, like 29,000 pounds in order to get the Cambridge certificate of CELTA. I create a Google Classroom to help you get the material very easily, and it's open as long as Google is there. I create a private Facebook group in order to go live for my group of CELTA preparation candidates. In case there are questions that weren't answered during the session itself, I have 8 sessions. Allow me to. It has teaching practice and feedback. One teaching practice as an exit project, a final project. You receive 2 certificates. Hard copy one of MITQ, Manchester International Teaching Qualifications. And you receive a soft copy of TEFLism. And the trainer is Muhammad Ali Khalaf, a verified CELTA tutor, the one speaking to you now. And the input sessions I'm going to show you in a second. We have 8 input sessions. This is the course description. We have input sessions, assignments, teaching practice. Who is it for? A wide variety of people. The course content. So we have a session on classroom management. You will learn how to manage your classroom. The bee's knees, المختصر المفيد بتاع كل حاجة في التيتشنج. Lesson planning. You will learn how to write a lesson plan based on the CELTA criteria. How to teach receptive skills, reading and listening. How to teach productive skills, writing and speaking. How to teach vocabulary. Also the bee's knees, crème de la crème, اللي انت محتاجه عشان تقف في الكلاسروم بطل. How to teach grammar. Also the bee's knees, crème de la crème. How to deal with lower levels and the teaching terminology, and a recap on the whole course in the final session. A quick revision on the whole course. Actually, it's designed to help you become an excellent teacher. And some people who, or most of the candidates who got this course with me, who studied this course with me and studied CELTA, swear that I provide them with an amount of information and knowledge that exceeds the CELTA itself, based on them, not me. And you can see that in the reviews, the page reviews, TEFLism reviews on Facebook. And some teachers who got their CELTAs came and revised with me. So they finished the expensive course and came to me to get more familiar or to get their questions answered. لان انا لو في سؤال اتسال في السيشن وما تجاوبش، انا بوعدك ان اي حاجه في الاي ال تي انجلش از سكند لانجويج اور فورين لانجويج، مجال الاي ال تي كله، مش بكلمك بقى في الاي جي سي اس، لا انا بكلمك في اللي بياخدوا الناس اللي بتدرس سيلتا teaching English as a foreign language to adults. مفيش سؤال هيبقى في المجال ده مش هيتجاوب. يعني ايه؟ طب انا 3 ساعات والكورس ساعات بيوصل ل 40 او 50، بس الكورس اللي معايا حاليا العدد فيه قليل. This is a very low season والعدد قليل، ممكن نبقى يعني انا مش عارف العدد كام، مش متابع مع الادمن، بس العدد قليل حتى لو احنا 50، بس ده مش هيحصل ان شاء الله يعني. كل الاسئله هتتجاوب. هتقول لي ازاي هتتجاوب؟ ازاي دول هتهندل 50؟ اولا انا تيتشر ترينر فعارف ازاي ادير الكلاس. ثانيا انا عملت الفيسبوك جروب البرايفت بتاع المجموعه اللي بتدرس معايا، عشان لو في سؤال ما لحقناش نجاوبه او في سؤال جه في دماغك بعد السيشن بنحطه على الفيسبوك، وبطلع لايف اجاوب كل الاسئله خلال الاسبوع. يعني بنجمع الاسئله خلال الاسبوع كلها وبطلع لايف بره الكورس، مش اثناء المحاضره، لان المحاضره انا مجهزها بشكل ان انا عايز اديك اكبر كميه في اقل وقت، بحيث ان انت لما ترجع للريكوردنج، ودي ميزه ثانيه ان انا بسجل المحاضرات، لو حابب تذاكر، حابب ترجع للريكوردنج، حابب تعمل اي حاجه هتلاقيها. طب رجعت للريكوردنج وعندك لسه سؤال او في حاجه ما اتغطتش، وده نادرا ما هيحصل، هتحط في البوست بتاع الاسئله كل اسبوع بحط لك بوست تكتب لي الاسئله اللي في دماغك، وبجمع الاسئله دي كلها واطلع لايف اجاوبها او اكتر من لايف، بحيث ان مفيش سؤال في التيتشنج. لو انت رحت خدت سلطه هتعرف يعني ايه ان مفيش وقت في السلطه تسال، انت على طول بتشتغل مش هتلحق تسال. السلطه نفسها الغاليه، انما الكورس ده انا عامله مخصوص عشان الناس اللي داخله سلطه او حتى خدت سلطه ولسه عندها اسئله في التيتشنج ما اتجاوبتش اجاوبها. تمام؟ دي السيشنز. طيب نرجع تاني بسرعه للنقطه اللي بعد كده. انا اسف مش لاحق اقرا التعليقات. انا هسيب لكم وسائل للتواصل معايا يعني. اوكي طيب، اتفقنا ان احنا ما فيش سؤال في التيتشنج هتطلع مش متجاوب عليه. ازاي تدرس فوكابلري، ازاي تعمل سي سي كيوز، ازاي يعني how to check understanding, how to design a lesson plan based on the CELTA criteria. الحاجات اللي بياخدوها في الكورس الغالي انا لخصتها واديتك اهمها في الكورس بتاعي. طيب how to apply، انا هبعت اللينك ده في الشات دلوقتي، وبرضو الناس اللي دخلت من خلال الواتساب، الواتساب بتاعي 06 وحايد 2846، اسهل رقم في الدنيا. اوكي 06 وحايد 2846 لو عايز تسال على اي حاجه في الكورسات. والرقم اللي موجود على الشاشه ممكن ناخد سكرين شوت او ممكن ناخد بيكتشر. وفي طرق دفع كتيره متعدده عشان نسهل على الناس، وده اللينك. ازاي هناخد الشهاده؟ لسه نقطتين بس هغطيهم قبل ما نمشي. I'll share the PowerPoint with the same Google Classroom I shared with you, and I will actually share it on the Telegram channel. It's accredited from Manchester International Teacher Qualification College. Okay, so this is the link to the course. You can copy paste it, or you can contact me here. دبل 1 دبل 1 دبل 1 6 وحيد 2 8 4 6. Okay. And I'm starting next week, next Friday at 8:30. So if you're interested, just text me or text this WhatsApp number on the screen. Take a picture. Okay, amazing. About my upcoming CELTA course, I'm doing a CELTA course, a real CELTA course, which is Cambridge CELTA. You get the certificate from Cambridge, but it's 29,000 at IH Cairo. It's fully online. It's part-time, only Fridays and Saturdays. الناس اللي ما عندهاش وقت تاخد سيلتا ونفسها تاخد سيلتا ما تترددش. دي سيلتا كومبليتلي اونلاين. الموديل بتاع كامبريدج بيفضل مفتوح لمده سنه. عندك السيشنز الديزاين بتاعها كامبريدج اللي عاملاه اي اتش مفتوحه معاك سنه من تاريخ انضمامك للكورس، حتى بعد ما الكورس يخلص. والكورس مدته 10 اسابيع، جمعه وسبت لمده 10 اسابيع. اي اتش كايرو. لو انت مهتم تنضم للكورس ده take a picture and this is my WhatsApp number. هتبعت لي بس MCI. دي الفيرست ستيب. هعمل لك موك سيلتي انترفيو عامل عليها للناس اللي حاضره السيشن دلوقتي خصم 50%. لو انت هتعدي من الانترفيو ده مش هتحتاج تعمل انترفيو تاني عشان تقدم للسيلتا. هحول لك الموك سيلتي انترفيو تو ا ريل انترفيو. يعني هبعت الاوراق بتاعتك جاهزه مقبوله، انت بس هيبقى عليك تكمل بروسس الدفع باي اتش كايرو. الموك سيلتا انترفيو ده بحطك في نفس الظروف بالظبط بتاعه السيلتا انترفيو. نجحت فيه بحكم ان انا سيلتا تيوتر بشتغل في اماكن معينه، فالاماكن المعينه دي مدياني صلاحيه ان انا خلاص ابعتك مقبول للمكان وما تعملش انترفيو خلاص تاني هناك. فاهم قصدي؟ يعني هو موك سيلتا انترفيو، بس لو نجحت وعايز سيلتا بحوله لك لريل سيلتا انترفيو بحكم صلاحياتي كسيلتا تيوتر في الاماكن اللي انا شغال فيها. هتبعت لي على الواتساب MCI موك سيلتا انترفيو. كده انا هفهم ايه؟ هفهم ان انت عايز تاخد كورس السيلتا، فعايز تاخد اول خطوه اللي هي تعمل الانترفيو بتاعه وتتحط في نفس الظروف بتاعه السيلتا. في ناس مش عايزه تاخد سيلتا بس عايزه تعرف هي هتتقبل ولا لا. ممكن برضو تعمل الموك سيلتا انترفيو. دي حاجه ما كانتش موجوده والله في العالم كله قبل سيفيليزم، الحمد لله. يعني مش براجنج، بس يعني I thought outside the box because I needed this. لان انا كنت متردد اقدم على السيلتا، قعدت 4 سنين متردد عشان مش عارف اذا كنت هتقبل ولا لا. انا عملت السيرفيس دي للناس. طبعا هي مدفوعه عشان الموضوع مش سهل بالنسبه لي، برضو بياخد وقت وبقعد اقرا الحاجه بشكل ميتيكلس، فهي مش فري. بس انا كنت اتمنى انها تكون موجوده بالسعر ده او حتى اغلى، لان قعدت 4 سنين خايف اخش سيلتا، خايف اترفض. احساس الرفض وحش. فلما تكون موك سيلتا انترفيو لو اترفضت عادي هبقى عارف نقط ضعفي وهحسنها. ازاي ناخد الشهاده؟ ودي نقطه مهمه جدا. الناس اللي حضرت معايا للاخر انا شايف 264 حد، فهيطلع 264 شهاده. لو بقوا 265 هعرف ان في ناس من هنا شيرت اللينك مع ناس تانية، وعشان كده انا هقفل ده خلال 10 دقائق من انتهاء ستوب شير. انا اسف عشان اضمن ان الناس اللي حضرت بس هي اللي تاخد الشهادات. طبعا انا حابب اشكركم على صبركم معايا وعلى انكم استنيتوا وحضرتوا السيشن كلها، ويا رب تكون كانت يعني على قد ما انتوا كنتوا تتمنوا المستوى. يعني ما ضيعتلكوش وقتكم. اتمنى انها تكون كانت مفيده. حاولت احط النقط اللي الناس بتتكلم فيها او شاكه المفروض نعملها او لا. انا عارف ان انا خدت وقت كتير منكم، بس يا رب يا رب تكون على يعني it was worth your time. خليني جزانا واياكم يا رب. الف الف شكر. الشهاده دي شهاده حضور السيشن. طبعا انت في السي في بتاعك وعلى الفيسبوك بتاعك وعلى السوشيال ميديا بتاعك لازم برضو تعمل براندنج لنفسك، وتقول ان انت مهتم بالبروفيشنال ديفلوبمنت، تقول ان انت مهتم تطور امكانياتك كتيتشر. فالشهادات اللي زي كده بتضاف للسي في وبتتحط على السوشيال ميديا وبتتحط. هبعت لكم اللينك حالا. طيب برضو يا جماعه الناس اللي حاضره معايا، لو اللينك فاتكم مش عارفين تجيبوه خليني اوقف الرسائل تاني معلش، انا اسف. الام سي اي موك سيلتي انترفيو هو المفروض تكاليفه 1000 جنيه، بس للناس اللي حاضره النهارده هيبقى 500 جنيه. طبعا هعرف منين؟ محدش هيبعت لي ام سي اي غير الناس اللي حضرت هنا. فاهم قصدي؟ محدش هيبعت الكود ده غير الناس اللي حضرت هنا. فكل اللي عايز موك سيلتي انترفيو من الناس اللي حاضره هياخد عليه خصم 50%. ومش بس هو الهدف منه انك هتاخد سيلتا، لا، هو تعرف مستواك وتعرف انت واقف فين وتعرف انت محتاج تعدل ايه وتشتغل على ايه كتيتشر عشان تبقى اقوى. طبعا بالنسبه للغه، لان هو الموك سيلتا انترفيو ده بيختبر اللغه نوعا ما، بنشوف فيه اذا كنت هتقدر تدخل سيلتا and will you be able to cope with the intensity of the course or not. انا هبعت بس اللينك مره تانية بتاع الشهاده. الشهاده دي هتبقى بالسيشن اللي انت حضرتها معايا. 90 minutes، انا هحط كده 90 minutes of professional development to help teachers، or هحط اسم السيشن. انا لسه ما قررتش الفورمات بتاع الشهاده او اسم الشهاده، ولكن هي حاجه هتبقى مهمه ليك في السي في. كل ما انت حد بيحضر ويبينارز واونلاين ورك شوبس، اونلاين سيشنز، حد بياخد كورسات بروفيشنال ديفلوبمنت وبيتحط ده في السي في وبيتحط على السوشيال ميديا، بيبان ان انت قد ايه حد مجتهد وبيصرف وقته في حاجات مفيده. مش قاعد يعمل سكرول على انستجرام وعلى الفيسبوك طول النهار، لا، ده هو اخذ من عمره ساعه ونص عشان يعرف ايه اللي يتعمل وايه اللي ما يتعملش في كلاس فوكابلري مع الستودنتس، عشان يخدمهم اكتر ويدي لهم سيرفيس احسن ويعلمهم بشكل اكثر فعاليه. ده اللينك بتاع الشهاده. زي ما قلت لكم هيتقفل خلال ربع ساعه من انتهاء السيشن. ده معناه ان انت محتاج تسجل بياناتك في اسرع وقت ممكن، وارجوك ما تبعتوش لاي حد ما حضرش. دي امانه، وانا يعني I assume that you will be يعني honest with that and you will keep it to yourself. Thank you very much. And once more, this is my number, my WhatsApp number in Egypt. And I look forward to hearing from you. التسجيل بتاع السيشن ده هيتحط على جوجل كلاس روم، اللي هو الخاص بمين؟ بالسوبر interested teachers in professional development. If you are a super interested in professional development teacher, like خليني بس انا خلاص فصلت، انا عايز اقول super interested in professional development teacher، فهقولها. مش عارف اجمعها، بس انا يعني خلاص البنزين خلص النهارده، يعني الساعه 10:15. If you're super interested in professional development, you need to join Tifilism Professional Development Google Classroom. السيشن دي هتنزل عليها، لان انا قررت ما عدتش احط الحاجات دي لكل الناس اللي هو بيعمل لايك ويمشي، او حتى يكسل يعمل لايك ومش هيفتحها يشوفها. هو مش فارق معاه يعرف دوز ولا دونتس، هو عايز بس يطلع يقول للناس احنا بنقول water American English water in British water. هو مش همه يعلم الناس صح، هو همه بس ايه؟ يعمل فولورز. انا ما بحبش النوع ده من التيتشرز، انا اسف ان انا بقولها كده. والنوع ده من التيتشرز مش موجود معانا ولا واحد منهم دلوقتي، لان مش هيستحمل يقعد 5 دقائق. التيتشرز اللي مهتمه تعلم الطلبه بتوعها صح وعندهم ضمير وبيحبوا يشوفوا تاثير شغلهم في حياه الطلبه بتوعهم، هم اللي قعدوا، هم اللي كملوا، هم اللي يستحقوا ان هم لو حابين يراجعوا السيشن دي تاني يراجعوها، هم اللي يستحقوا ياخدوا الباوربوينت بتاعها، هم اللي يستحقوا يشوفوا الريكوردنج تاني، هم اللي يستحقوا يسالوني اي حاجه مش واضحه. طبعا انا بجاوب على كل الناس اللي بتبعت لي، بس الحاجات اللي هي بالقيمه دي محدش يقدر يفهمها غير نوع معين من التيتشرز، اللي هم السوبر انترستد ان بروفيشنال ديفلوبمنت، اللي هم انتوا. وحابب اشكركم مره تانية على الصبر، وهفتح الشات. طبعا يعني معلش الناس اللي لسه ما كتبتش رقمي ممكن تصور بس سكرين شوت او اتمنى ان الناس تكون دخلت على اللينك بتاع الشهادات. علي قدرت توصل لللينك؟ يعني قدرت؟ is it clickable؟ is it clickable؟ دعاء القاضي منوراني يا دعاء. شكرا على حضورك وشكرا على صبرك لحد الاخر. I'm asking you to unmute. You're unmuted now.
I'm the one who should thank you بجد. يعني Mr. Muhammad is my CELTA tutor. I'm CELTA certified alhamdulillah, and it's been a great experience and I can never miss your sessions. They're very interesting and they're refreshing. يعني بيرجعوني لأيام السلتا الحقيقة.
الله يكرمك.
كانت أيام جميلة.
شكرا. هي كانت أيام صعبة بس حلوة.
صعبة بس يعني لا بس still ممتعة.
It's a life-changing experience.
It is definitely. Would you please resend the link to the class in the chat?
What do you mean the class? The Google Classroom?
The Google Classroom. The Google Classroom.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay, thank you.
It's there now. علي رحت فين يا علي؟ عايزين نسمع صوتك يا علي.
أستاذنا, God bless you all. you are just giving without any feedback from anyone. We are all honored to have you and always giving. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything that you give.
Thank you for being a very faithful attendee.
Yeah, it's my honor to say it. It's my honor.
ربنا يكرمك. خلاص انا كده يعني في انتظاركم ان شاء الله تسجلوا بياناتكم بحيث ان الادمن يقدر يعمل الشهادات، واتمنى اللينك ما يطلعش. لو محتاجين اي حاجه عندكم الواتساب بتاعي، الرقم سهل 06 1 2 8 4 6 011 11 11 28 46. طبعا 2 و8 10 رخامه بقى، 4 و6 10. اشوفكم على خير وشكرا على حضوركم السيشن بالكامل. شكرا للناس اللي صبرت معايا للاخر. لو حد محتاج اي حاجه يبعت لي على الواتساب. لو ما عرفتش ارد النهارده ولا بكره، يعني الرسائل بتبقى جايه كتير جدا جدا، فهحاول ارد يعني بمجرد ما يتاح لي وقت. وان شاء الله كده ممكن هغير الرساله الاوتوماتيك، هحط فيها اللينك بتاع سيلتا بريباريشن، هحط اللينك بتاع موك سيلتا انترفيو، بحيث برضو الناس تبقى عارفه توصل للحاجات دي. ماشي. ولو حد مهتم يعمل سيلتا اونلاين اللي هي كامبريدج سيلتا، انا قلت في كورس بارت تايم، يعني هتعمله جمعه وسبت من غير ما ياثر على شغلك لو انت شغال طول الاسبوع. بارت تايم يعني هيبقى مطول شويه والدنيا ريلاكست. عندك 10 اسابيع مش شهر. هتروح شغلك عادي من الحد للخميس. كامبريدج موديل بيفضل مفتوح معاك لمده سنه من تاريخ انضمامك للكورس، تقدر تراجع الكورس في اي وقت. الناس اللي عايز تنضم لسيلتا بريباريشن، انا بديك خلاصه السيلتا الغاليه دي بثمن بسيط. اتمنى اشوفكم ان شاء الله. هنبدا الجمعه الجايه، هم 8 سيشنز جمعه وسبت من 8:30 ل 11:30 مساء. اشوفكم على خير ان شاء الله، وشكرا على الصبر والحضور. السلام عليكم. استودعكم الله الذي لا تضيع ودائعه.